A very warm welcome to everyone watching this video. I am Devansh Jam from 9th H Army Public School, Ambala, Kent. Today, we are going to discuss a complete PowerPoint presentation about disaster management. Let's begin. Introduction. A sudden calamitous event bringing great damage, loss, or destruction is a natural disaster. Disaster, as defined by the United Nations, is a serious disruption of the functioning of a community or society which involves widespread human, material, economic, and environmental impacts that exceed the ability of the affected community or society to cope using its own resources. These are some of the disasters. Let's talk about types of disasters. Number 1. Natural disaster. A natural disaster is a major adverse event resulting from natural processes of the earth. For example, tornadoes, storms, etc. The first image shows the fire that is due to natural processes on earth, so it's a natural disaster. And the second image shows a tornado. Second type is man-made disaster. Man-made disasters are extreme hazardous events that are caused by human beings. For example, Bhopal gas tragedy. The first image shows a very big disaster that has occurred. It's like an atom bomb dropping. The second one is a fire that is due to the human beings. Consequences of disasters, or we can say effects of disasters on health, physical, entanglement, injuries, disabilities, or death. Psychological, cognitive, behavioral, social, structural damage to a variable extent. Ecological, changes in ecosystem. Economical, financial losses. Here, ecological we can relate. In the previous slide, we have seen about fire. This fire will affect the natural habitats of animals as well as it will destroy plants as well as big trees. Let's discuss about disaster management. Disaster management is how we deal with human, material, economic, or environmental impacts of said disaster. It is the process of how we prepare for, respond to, and learn from the effects of major failures. Though often caused by nature, disasters can have human origins. This image shows an emblem of National Disaster Management Authority of India. Disaster Management Continuum. Preparedness. Activities prior to a disaster. For example, preparedness plans, emergency exercises or training, warning systems. Activities during a disaster can come in response. Examples are public warning systems, emergency operations, search and rescue, recovery, activities following a disaster, temporary housing, claims processing and grants, long-term medical care and counseling come under the examples of recovery. Mitigation, activities that reduce the effects of disasters. For example, building codes and zoning, vulnerability analysis, public education. These are the same one that we have discussed in the previous slide. Principles of disaster management. Number 1. Comprehensive approach. Second, all hazards approach. Second, we had done that all hazards approach, local disaster management capability, support by the state group and district groups to local government. How we can prevent disaster, or we can say disaster prevention. Awareness, education, preparedness and prediction, and warning systems can reduce the disruptive impacts of a natural disaster on communities. Mitigation measures such as adoption of zoning, land use practices, and building codes are needed, however, to prevent or reduce actual damage from hazards. So, this was all for the video. Thank you for watching and stay home, stay safe. Thank you.